Hey guys, happy Tuesday. We'll be kicking off here in Well, hello. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to PsychCandy here for August 9th. So good to see you guys. Sonia, Deanna, Amy, Mark. Hope you guys' week has been good. Monday's behind us. That's a great thing, right? I don't know. So I know a lot of people who look forward to Mondays. They actually want to get out of the weekend, get back into Monday. For some people, the work week is better than the weekend. But at any rate, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Today's topic, I've done this show a while back. This is one of the first shows I actually did back in here, and I've had several requests to do this show again. And before I start, this particular article, this is about Doormat Debbies, and I just want to be really clear that everything in this, it doesn't just relate to the Debbies. There are also Doormat Dans out there, so this is kind of for everybody who kind of fits into this position here. Now, when I wrote this, I was dealing with a colleague and also a patient of mine who gave me permission to kind of share her story a little bit. And her name is Lisa. And for Lisa, saying no feels as uncomfortable as turning her back on a family member. And Lisa is ever eager to, curry the favor of her friends, colleagues, bends over backwards to accommodate their request. And this is a comment that she made. She said, "People ask me to do things like serve on committees, and I'll accept without evaluating whether I'm really passionate about it." She went on to say that because I say yes a lot, I'm too busy, I'm too stressed, and my attention is divided. Now with that, what is that? Well, Lisa's a self-admitted Doormat Debbie. Someone committed to bolstering the well-being of others, even at the expense of her own. Responding to the needs of others, of course, is a crucial part of normal social functioning. But Doormat Debbies are so invested in outside approval that they set their own wants and needs aside. They find it almost impossible to say no, even when saying yes wreaks absolute havoc on their end. Now, what makes someone so anxious to fulfill other people's expectations that they end up basically sabotaging themselves? Now, the typical Doormat Debbie is someone who lacks an internal compass to gauge the value of their own actions. So as a result, they spend their lives looking for validation from other people. That's a very dangerous mix right there. The seeds of people-pleasing are usually planted in childhood. Often, parents will simply tell kids what to do and never encourage them to actually assert themselves. So when the kids obey, parents give them conditional love. Now, such an environment sends a subconscious message to children. So the only way to feel valuable is to comply with others. Comply with others' demands, give others what they need, quote unquote, go with the flow. But the pattern only solidifies as the child grows up, fearing that if they do not strive to please, people will not love them. They respond to this perceived threat by becoming obsessed with meeting others' needs. Now, because girls are typically trained from an early age to accommodate and defer to others, which is its own bag of no good, but a disproportionate number of doormat Debbies are women, and that's true. But again, this affects men too. Now, once established, such behaviors become self-reinforcing, which makes them difficult to uproot. They get rewarded by bosses, coworkers, friends, just as they do by parents, prompting pleasers to assume doormat posture over and over again in hopes of receiving more kudos. You know? But despite that fleeting high of adulation, relentless praise-seeking exacts a very heavy toll. Doormat Debbies expend so much energy meeting others' needs that they lose sight of what they want from life. They're often seized by the disorienting feeling that they're not in control of their own lives, which leads them to lash out. People please, 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 and then they explode. Like when a woman who's catered to the needs of a self-centered partner for years finally goes ballistic, throws him out. That's a very strong thing that I've seen dealing with people even in therapy. And if you've been a pleaser for a long time, you're going to get more and more resentful of the person that you're pleasing or the people that you're pleasing. And that can lead to extreme passive-aggressive behavior. So, how does a doormat Debbie end that cycle? While perpetual pushovers often lack self-worth and clear direction in their lives, breaking the cycle is complicated. The cure is not abstinence, neglecting others. Needs entirely means you got to kind of cross the board. If you go down into like completely neglecting other people entirely, then it puts you into kind of a narcissistic border, if that makes sense. All right, that's what I was trying to say here. But rather, the key is a well thought out policy of temperance. In other words, retain positive people-pleasing traits like friendliness and sensitivity, but clarify your own needs and assert them more. If someone asks you for something, ask yourself if it's feasible and consider your own needs too. So you might say, I can help you later in the day, but first I need to meet my own deadlines or I got my own stuff going on. And if it's urgent, maybe we can find a different compromise here or find somebody else that can help you. Now, see, that's really hard for some people. And especially when you've built that routine. Oh, hey, you know what? Hey, go ask Susie. She'll do it. Yeah, Susie always says yes. She'll do it. You have those people around you? Because I've had those people around me. And it sucks. Because, you see that people that get into that rut, it's really hard to break out of it. But I can tell you that most of the people that really do form into this place where you really are neglecting yourself, it doesn't just affect the surface. It affects your self-worth, your self-value. It affects how well you take care of yourself. It affects your energy on a daily basis. It can cause depression. It causes anxiety. It causes stress. All because you don't want to say no. You don't want to make yourself be first sometimes. You have to make yourself be first. You have to find that level of healthy selfish. And there is such a thing as healthy selfish. So we want to be in that scope. You want to find that place, Take a close look at what situations trigger your pleasing behavior and why. People-pleasing behavior comes from fear, from an assumption that others are in control of you. Healthy behavior comes from genuinely wanting to be connected to people. So ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it because I really care about this person or because I'm afraid I'm going to lose them? And this kind of questioning can help you uncover the source of the fears underlying your people-pleasing bent. Did your parents conditional love you? And did that conditional love lead you to dread, abandonment? Did the pain of a past heartbreak make you overly anxious about offending or, disagreeing with your new partner? Consider the answers and discard fears that don't make sense anymore. When I'm dealing with doormat Debbies in therapy, I like to make them role play, standing up for themselves and, kind of in a made up scenario. Then we move to a real life scenario and on and on. You got to learn to be receptive to others' concerns, but don't leave your own by the wayside. You know, you got to kind of keep the people pleasing kind of under wraps a little bit. So, how do you make sure that you're the one manning the controls? Well, one, stall for some time. If someone puts you on the spot, politely defer, I'll check my calendar and get back to you tomorrow. Then you can assess whether the request fits in with your schedule and goals and with yourself. The next thing is examine your motivations. People pleasing seems like the epitome of niceness, but pleasers may assume their submissive posture because of what they expect in return. And if you grant someone a favor, do it because it fills you, not to get something back. And the last thing is, try to role play to practice asserting your needs. Get a friend to play a pushy boss or something. I know that sounds silly to some people, but when you put yourself in a situation that causes your brain to go into a different direction, to have to evaluate something, it can make you dealing with that real world situation that much easier. The biggest problem with the Doormat Debbie, you've heard it. People call it the Doormat Debbie syndrome. Just on and on. But and again, you'd be surprised how many men I deal with this with. And it all comes down to, usually, it is rooted by something in your past, something you've been through, or some person that's engaged with you in some fashion that you never dealt with it. And you found it's just easier to push something aside and say, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And you can only do that so many times. You can only break that personal limit so many times. And if you do keep going, you're going to mount up and layer up so many different times that it's going to explode. It's going to explode out on the people that you are people pleasing. It's going to explode out internally within yourself too, and create some turmoil that you may not have immediately worked out what your process is going to be to fix that. Hence why a lot of people end up in therapy for things like this, because they want to break free of it. And listen, it's great to have, your partners. It's great to have your best friends. It's great to have these things. But those people, the partner, the great friends, even people you work with, the people that are going to support you being you to the fullest, and support that you have a voice and you can stand up for yourself, and that you're not going to say yes all the time. It's okay to say no. No is a complete sentence. No. Can you do ABC? No. That's it. You don't owe everybody an explanation of why. You don't owe you don't have to come up with all these reasons. No, I can't. Sorry. And if they get mad at you for that, well, then you might want to reevaluate the level and value of that friendship or that relationship in general. We want to maintain our kind, compassionate hearts. We want to be sensitive. We want to have that helpful nature at times. Yeah. I love helping people, but I also know my limits as well. I have to look at myself, and I'm okay to say no. I'm okay to say no. I can't do that. Or no, I hear what you're saying, but I disagree with it. So I can't really do that. I can't put myself in that position. And when you do that, people oftentimes, more times than not, they're going to respect you for taking that position. They're going to respect you for honoring you, and that's what it comes down to. Part of this breaking that Doormat Debbie cycle is you giving yourself permission to be you. Give yourself permission to rise above it. Give yourself permission to stay on point with who you are and what you want and where you're going, no matter what. Well, guys, I hope you were able to pull something from this today. I want to thank you for being here. If you missed the beginning, please, I welcome you to go back and listen to the replay. Everybody that's watching out in YouTube land, welcome. So glad to have you here. And I will be back tomorrow with you guys right here at 11:30. And until then, I hope that your day is blessed, happy, and wonderful. So until next time, be happy, be healthy, and most importantly, be you. Cheers.